Hello, I'm Hal Ottaway with the Wichita Postcard Club, and it's time for a postcard of the week. This time, I want to show you a view from downtown Wichita, Kansas. It's the Eagle Building, and we're looking at this building toward the southwest. And here on the right side is William Street, a street that's parallel to Douglas. And in front of us, going to the left or right, is Market Street. So we're at the southwest corner of Market and William Street. Look on down the street there to your right, and you see the tall towered building. That's the Proudfoot and Bird structure that was once the city building and now is the home of the Wichita Sedgwick County Historical Museum. Go there often, you'll just be blown away with the exhibits and the shows that they have. Lots and lots of Wichita history. It's just a yummy place to go. But returning to this Eagle building, first of all, let's look up there in the upper left corner of the postcard, and it says it was published by C.A. Tanner and Company in Wichita, Kansas. Now this, I can go to the city directory and find out that that was Charles and Maybelle Tanner, who had a residence at 904 North Topeka. It's kind of neat to know where people lived. But they lived at 904 North Topeka, and their business itself was at 122 North Main. Presently, this is just to the north of the Intrust Bank, which used to be the First National Bank in Wichita, but now they've renamed it the Intrust, and they own both sides of North Main Street facing onto Douglas. The main bank is to the west of Main Street, and the more offices and everything are on the east side. But just north of that, if you would have gone to about half of the block, that's where the Tanner store was. Now, Tanner was a retail bookseller and stationery. They also carried sporting goods, I'm told. Again, I get all of this information out of the city directories. They're just full of neat stuff and advertising and telling where people lived and who worked there and owned it and so forth. It's a great resource. But let's think about this Tanner stationery and bookstore just briefly. This was a publisher, one of the main ones for Wichita. Cress's Dime Store was another publisher. My good friend Hal Ross collects Wichita views, has long before I did, really, but he keeps his collection by publishers. So if I ask him, what do you have for the Eagle building? He would have to go through all of the different publishers that he collects and to see if they had a Eagle building card. That's how I keep my collection, is by the topics. But he does it by publisher, and it's just another way of collecting and another way of enjoying and seeing what all that they had in the way of Wichita views through the years. But this Tanner is a good publisher. They did lots of cards, and you're going to see that their name often. Looking at the Eagle building, this brings back a lot of memories to me because today, this corner, the Eagle building, is long gone and it was replaced by a multi-story parking lot. And that's probably clicking in your memory now and say, oh yeah, that's where the parking lot is. And there was a walkway from the parking lot over to the Ennis department store just to the northeast, catty corner from this corner where the Eagle building was. But Ennis Department Store is long gone, and it was then an office area for Kansas governmental agencies and so forth. I'm not sure what's there now. It may be empty. But in any case, that shows you and gets you connected to what we're looking at and where this once stood. I have a memory as a kid of being in Cub Scouts with my mother as one of the leaders, and maybe once a month we would go on a tour of some business or establishment in Wichita. I remember the going to Bond Bakery and to Wonder Bread, and you got a cute little loaf of bread, all wrapped. It was all miniaturized. It was neat. But going to the Wichita Eagle, and in this building, you went home with a little one piece of paper folded down the center, but a miniaturization of the front page, say, of the Wichita Eagle. But they folded it once, and so really that made 4 pages of the Wichita Eagle miniaturized. I wish I had one to show you now. But in any case, it was fun to go home with that souvenir. But as we parked along Market Street that day, and we walked toward this building, we went in the corner where you see the 2 columns. But along those windows just outside, you'll see there's a row of basement windows. And I was just flabbergasted and still am amazed to think about it. That is where the printing presses were for the Eagle. They were downstairs in this lower level, or lower than street level. And so what happened to get the paper to print a newspaper, they need lots of newsprint. And it arrived to the Wichita Eagle in enormous rolls. And they would pull up a truck, pull up a truck right in front of these windows in the basement. Park the truck there, take the sideboards off, and put a ramp of lumber or boards leading from the truck down through that window, and they would roll these big rolls of newsprint into the basement. And that's how it was delivered there. I'm sure maybe once a day or several times a week or something, but a lot of newsprint would have been needed. The Eagle published twice a day, morning and evening, and it was one of our main ways of communicating. Lots of classified ads, lots of stories, what's going on in town and who's meeting, and lots of advertising. It was a big operation, and we're talking about pre-television days. We're talking, when I was there, it was been the early 1950s, but the Eagle and Beacon were our 2 major newspapers in town. We had some smaller ones too, but the Eagle was, like I say, twice a day, and was a neat place. And it was a good tour for the Cub Scouts, and just a nice memory for me. And you go downtown and see this multi-storied parking garage today, then you realize that this is what used to be there. I thank you for coming. I would ask you to please like us on Facebook and on YouTube, and appreciate everything, and look forward to seeing you next time. That's all, folks.